Sabrina Quesada just uploaded a heartfelt video speaking on her ex-boyfriend's death, and it was really sad. Even though Sabrina has finally returned to YouTube, she had a lot to touch on in this video she recently uploaded. So we've got to get into it. But pause. Before we continue on with today's video, I want to plug Atlas VPN. VPN stands for Virtual Private Network, and it's something that we should all strive to have in order to ensure the privacy and safety of ourselves while we're browsing on the internet. Just imagine there's a computer out in the world somewhere that are both connected to the internet and is totally anonymous. Atlas VPN ensures private browsing by changing your IP address and encrypting your connections, giving you online privacy by blocking ads and sites known for phishing, malware, and viruses. It's used by over 6 million users worldwide, and it's able to protect all your devices with just a single subscription. And guess what? Right now, Atlas VPN is running a huge discount. You can get a 3-year subscription for just $183 a month with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Time is running out, so get your deal by clicking the link in the description. My favorite part though is that it's a great way to access geographical restricted content, such as Netflix. Yes, with Atlas VPN, you are able to access Netflix shows from countries in the US, Canada, UK, Germany, France, Italy, and Spain. So that's another plus because you can also watch good Netflix shows without any limitations. Make sure to check out the first link in the description to grab your VPN service today, you guys. I really recommend it to ensure the privacy and safety of yourself online while surfing this huge world we call the internet. About a month ago, you all may remember I made a video on the unfortunate passing of TikToker Cooper Noriega. Cooper Noriega was a well-recognized TikTok star, and unfortunately he passed away last month at only the age of 19. His ex-girlfriend Sabrina Quesada, who is also a famous TikToker and social media influencer, hasn't been dealing well with the news. Cooper and Sabrina had dated for 2 years before they broke up, from October 2020 to April 2022. They were one of the many TikTokers who seemed to have a really genuine relationship and would always share each other online, and they just seemed like two lovebirds in their own world. On October 20 of 2021, Sabrina made a caption dedicated to Cooper saying, "Happy 1 year. Thank you for being my person. I got so incredibly lucky." In April of 2022, Sabrina Quesada announced that her and Cooper had no longer been together, after she had made an Instagram story announcing that they were no longer together and that it was a mutual decision. She added, "We're just young, and sometimes things just don't work out the way you want them to. I will love him forever, and he will always be my best friend." But following the news of Cooper's, things haven't been the same for Sabrina. She's obviously been grieving a lot, and she hasn't been dealing with the mourning process well either. Ever since Cooper's passing was announced on social media, Sabrina hasn't been super active on her socials nor her TikToks. And there is, of course, a reason for that. When you find out that your ex-boyfriend of 2 years, who you were truly in love with, had unfortunately passed away at only 19, you could only imagine how hard it would be for Sabrina to grasp onto that. And that's why almost a month later, Sabrina Quesada decided to finally speak up and make a video about how she's been handling this grief. For those of you who don't know, Sabrina Quesada isn't just a TikToker. She also has a YouTube channel, and prior to Cooper's death, she was just getting started on posting YouTube videos on a consistent basis. But when Cooper had unfortunately passed away, she kind of stopped posting on not only her YouTube channel, but also her Instagram and TikTok. A couple of days ago though, Sabrina decided to hop back on YouTube and express how she's been feeling over the last couple of weeks. She uploaded a video on her YouTube channel titled Grief. Sabrina got pretty deep in this video, to say the least. She spoke about how she's been coping after her ex-boyfriend's, starting off by saying that she would always read books and movies about what grief is actually like, and it always just looked so bad, but she never would have imagined it would actually be this bad. She explains how it's almost impossible for her to believe it, but she's aware that that's just a certain stage in the process of grieving.
I guess I always read books and saw the movies about what grief is, and it always just looked so bad, but I never really imagined it could possibly be this bad. It's the weirdest thing I've ever experienced. It's not even like, well, there's obviously stages to grief, and I've been heavily in the denial stage for the past 3 weeks. Shock and denial, lots of anger. Everyone is living their life. which is fine and fair, and everyone should be living their life, but I'm not living my life. It's like, I'm just going through the motions, and everything is just gray. There's no color. And that's the best way I can describe it. So it's weird for me to go outside and like see someone skateboarding.
She explained how all of a sudden everything in her world just seems gray, adding, "There's no color and that's the best way I can describe it." Throughout the video, Sabrina also explained how it's been pretty hard for her to get back to a routine and even get out of bed. She explains how Cooper was a huge part of her life and that things in her life just aren't the same anymore. She hasn't really been doing much since she is still coping with this whole entire process.
I also haven't been working. I haven't worked in a month. Which isn't helping my case because I don't feel like I have a routine. So I'm gonna force myself to upload this video because I just need to get back. Like, I need to get back to my life and the things that I used to do, because I'm also getting professional help. I'm seeing a therapist. I think I just need to get to a point in my life where I can accept what happened and go through the acceptance stage of grief. Oh my god, this is the weirdest thing I've ever done. I never record myself like this, but it's hard for me to film right now because I don't feel like me. Everything that I say feels wrong. Everything that I do feels wrong. I don't know what to post. I don't know. And like, I don't want everyone to get mad at me and say I'm begging for attention and like, why am I crying on the internet?
She also added about how she's been a little disappointed about something that people have been doing regarding Cooper's as of recently. For those of you who don't know, Cooper was a pretty popular TikToker in the LA scene. He did start out kind of surrounding himself with all the members of the Hype House, but slowly, as every other TikToker started to go their own route and start their own careers, Cooper kind of also did his own thing, and it seemed like he wasn't really hanging out with a lot of the other TikTokers in the LA scene. Before Cooper's death, he would really advocate about mental health and how important it is. So I could only imagine that he was probably going through something pretty dark for quite a while, especially since he had gotten out of a relationship in just April of 2022. Sabrina made a statement about how she's been pretty upset and disappointed about all the people who just suddenly started posting about Cooper after his passing, basically insinuating that they're probably fake friends and they're probably just posting about him to hop on the bandwagon. She said that she thinks Cooper would just probably be laughing at all the people who are suddenly posting about him when they probably were never really close with him.
You add social media to it and it makes it 10 times harder. Like, I'm under a microscope right now and everyone's just watching me grieve, and it's so weird. It's really hard for me to watch people take advantage of this. Like, suddenly everyone's his best friend and suddenly people were dating him. Like, I lived with him for 2 years. I loved him and spent every second of every day with him. I know. Oh, I can hear Cooper laughing at everyone because it's like, what are you doing?
On June 10th, Sabrina made a post dedicated to Cooper saying this: "The light of my life, you're the best thing that ever happened to me. I'm so sorry, my love. May we meet again." She posted a couple of photos of some of her best moments with Cooper and a screenshot of some text messages from her ex-boyfriend. Social media is Sabrina's job, and she obviously has to start posting back to her normal schedule at one point in time. But she explained how it's been really difficult over the last couple of weeks to even work and go back to her normal routine. A lot of people have been encouraging her, saying that this is completely normal and that she should take her time for as long as possible. They say that it's just part of the grieving process and that she shouldn't feel bad or ashamed if she isn't posting on TikTok and Instagram as much anymore. A lot of people have been giving support to Sabrina throughout this entire video, with many comments saying things like this, you guys. "I cried throughout this whole video just imagining the amount of emotions she's going through losing someone who she loved the most. I feel so deeply sorry for her and just so heartbroken for her. I really wish she can find light in this world again, even though it's going to be one of the hardest things knowing the love of your life isn't by your side all the time anymore, but will always be in your heart." While you were talking on the bed, I could literally feel and see his energy sitting with you at that moment. I can completely relate to people taking advantage of someone's death. It's sad to know the kind of relationship you had with someone and people saying they had the same when they really didn't. One person even gave her advice, stop giving a shit about people. Just do what feels right to you. I'm sure Cooper would also want you to live your life and be happy. It's normal to feel like this. Many people take it different. He was such a precious soul and he is with you and watching over you. Take it easy day by day. Emotions will always come and go. Anyways guys, hopefully Sabrina copes with this whole entire situation smooth. I definitely want to know what you guys think about all the thoughts Sabrina had to share in this video. Once again, don't forget to check out Atlas VPN. It's going to be the first link in the description, and I'll see you guys in the next video.